Gentleman from Hawaii, Mr. Case, is recognized to address the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise in full support of this amendment, which I have co-sponsored with my colleagues. And I want to start just by reading directly from your committee report in describing this particular program. And I quote, "Rural areas continue to face immense needs and challenges in attaining safe and clean water, and this program provides targeted and coordinated support for these communities and is essential for the delivery of safe, dependable, and affordable water and wastewater to rural America," end quote. I think that doesn't describe it any better than that. I think we can all agree on that. I agree with your committee report in that way. And in that light, this apt description describes why this invaluable program should not be reduced to start with. The overall reduction in this program is $60.5 million from $445 million down to $385 million overall. And that takes many, many projects out of the mix. But there is a subset of rural America, a very unique subset that this amendment goes directly to, where this reduction of $60.5 million is being felt disproportionately. And this subset is especially vulnerable to the health, safety, and other crises from insufficient water and waste disposal capacities. And I refer to colonias, to American Indian lands, to Native Alaskan lands, and to Native Hawaiian lands. And this subset of $60.5 million is being borne $40 million to that particular subset. And why is that? Why, when this subset is the most needy of all of the lands in rural America, are they being asked to bear this reduction? And their challenges arise from really a combination of challenges that face indigenous peoples and related peoples throughout our country, and the particular conditions of the lands that they inhabit. And I use the Native Hawaiians as one example, and this is both for the committee's education, because sometimes Native Hawaiian issues are quite a mystery to many of you, steeped in history, often unique to Hawaii, unique to the relationship between Native Hawaiians, the social, political trust relationship between Native Hawaiians and the federal government. But the history in this department goes back to 1921, some 23 years after Hawaii became a part of the United States. And at that time, Native Hawaiians were literally on the verge of extinction as a peoples and as a culture. And this Congress adopted the very first law that directly impacted Native Hawaiians. It was called the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. And what this law essentially did was to set aside 200,000 acres of Hawaii for the use of Native Hawaiians, to assist them with their housing, to assist them with the maintenance of their culture. And that law has stood for 105 years, and it has been enforced for 105 years. And there is a long body of history and application and funding that goes along with these Hawaiian homelands, the DHHL lands. Now, these lands, it was great news that they were set aside, but these lands were largely lands that were almost unutilizable for any real purpose. No roads, no water systems, no wastewater systems, and yet today, 105 years later, they are critical to the Native Hawaiians and to our ability to provide for Native Hawaiians and for the trust relationship between Native Hawaiians and our country. And this particular program is critical to assisting Native Hawaiians on their lands with their water systems, with their wastewater systems, and with their ability to utilize those lands. And in that sense, it is really no different, I suspect, from colonias, from American Indian lands, from Alaska Native lands, in their need to provide the basic capacity to live safely, to operate effectively, and to maintain their cultures and their customs and their interaction with the rest of our country. And so this is not just about rural water and wastewater. This is about basically a social compact that we've carried for a long, long time in the case of Native Hawaiians, for well over a century, on a very, very specific law. Now, I suspect the people that decided to cut this program had no clue about what I just described. They just looked at it and went, oh, what the heck? let's just cut this program, not worrying about it. They probably don't even know what colonia are, colonias or colonia are. And they probably don't understand much of Indian country also. So I'd expect and hope that as this bill goes forward, that this context is considered in future deliberations on what you do with this program going forward. These are real people. There's a real reason for this program to apply in this case. I yield back.
Thank you, gentlemen. Are there other members wishing to address the amendment? Gentleman from Montana, Mr. Zinke, is recognized.
Will the gentleman yield from Hawaii? Just so I understand, is it by treaty, or is it by law, or is it mandated spending, or is it discretionary spending? How is it structured?
The law is the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, and so the law sets up the Hawaiian homelands, which still exist in Hawaii and are resided upon by Native Hawaiians. This particular program allocates specifically to American Indians, Alaska Natives, Colonial, and Native Hawaiians. And so that's the specific mechanism by which these monies go to these subsets.
And is the funding then mandated within the text of the bill, or how do they?
It is not technically mandated. It is in discretionary funding. However, it is a line item within this program, and that's where the brunt of the reduction has occurred. So it's taken this reduction out of the hide of those that need it the most.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I yield back.
Thank you.